Hey everybody, on today's video I'd like to show you how you can take a single note of your ambient guitar audio and load it into a really cool synthesizer in Apple's Logic Pro software and create something really cool. Let's get to work. As you can see, I've got Logic Pro loaded up, and in track 1 I've got the audio from my ambient guitar loaded up too. Again, it's one single note. Here's what it sounds like. All right, all I did was I took my little E-bow here and played a note on the guitar, and I had a little bit of delay added in there, as you could hear. I don't even remember which delay pedal it was. Might have been the Strymon Volante, not sure though. Anyhow, I added a little bit of EQ and compression, Logic EQ and compression right here in channel 1, and I mixed it down to a piece of audio. All right, so we're done with that track. Let's move to the next step, and that is the Alchemy synthesizer. So let me add everything back in here and open up Alchemy. Whoop. Open up Alchemy. There we go, baby. All right, one of the cool things about Alchemy is that it's a software synthesizer, but it allows you to import audio that it then, I believe, re-synthesizes. Well, I'll have to defer to some more technical people to indicate exactly what's going on. Anyhow, I've got one voice loaded here in A, and as you can see, if I click on it, Alchemy gives you a little dialogue where you can import audio. And so what I did originally was import alchemyvoice.wav, which was the mixed down single note from my ambient guitar. I then kind of messed around with the settings and got a sound that I really liked. And here's what it sounds like. I'm just going to play these few MIDI notes here on channel 2 where it says demo 1. See these little lines here in the green area? Those are MIDI notes. Let's check that out. Here we go. That's kind of cool, isn't it? And listen, there's even a very long tail on the notes that's really nice. So I'm going to kind of cut some of that tail out. So let's see what's going on here in the sound. So first up, I'm going to draw your attention to the edit capability of the sound. And this is where you can kind of sculpt the audio that you import into Alchemy. So if I just play a note here, I'm just going to hit a note here. Okay, not too amazing, but if I kind of use these little handles here, I can really kind of affect the envelope of the sound. Okay, so you can kind of hear what's going on there. Let's bring this right here and see what we have. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it kind of so it will play the entire audio if I were to, say, hold down the key on a MIDI keyboard. All right. Next up, what I'm going to do is look at the spectral tab over here on the right-hand side. And this gives you some pretty interesting options. Let me go ahead and turn off the cloud setting here. I'll show you that in a minute. But here's what we get kind of out of the box with spectral. Okay, not bad. I can switch it from pitch to noise, and check this out. Whoa! Yeah, if you want to create kind of like ghosts and haunting things, yeah, you've got some interesting things with the noise setting. Well, I'm going to go back to pitch, and it sounds good, kind of as is, but I want to really want to kind of add a little bit of spice to it, so I'm going to go down here to this setting where I can add bloom, blur, cloud, frequency shifts, frequency stretch, etc. Let's try a couple of options here. Let's try bloom and see what we get. Whoa, that's kind of weird. Kind of cool weird. Let's try blur. All right. And let's try cloud again. Now, that's too much, right? So I'm going to bring the mix down for cloud, and I'm just going to bring it up a little bit as I let it play. Check this out. So I think around 21% cloud, I think that's what that was, sounds kind of good. So it gives this kind of mysterious undertone, but I still get kind of the fundamental of my ambient guitar note. All right, next up is the formant area, and let's see what some of the options here are. Again, I'm not a total expert on alchemy. I've been working with this thing for a while, and I still need to finish reading through the manual, which is about that thick. I'm serious. But there's a lot of interesting things you can do, even if you don't know all the technical details. In the formant area, let's check out shift, attack, we'll check out size, etc. So I'm gonna loop this and kind of twist some knobs. Here we go. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So if I shift down by 24 half steps, 23 semitones, I'm basically kind of 2 octaves below, right, the original pitch. Oh, yeah, and if you want some instant bass, that's a good way to get it. All right. So you see, you've got a lot of options there. Let's try smooth and see what that does. Here we go. Yeah, so the smoothing knob, if you bring that way back, you end up getting really jagged artifacts into your resynthesized or synthesized voice that you're creating. All right, so that's just a couple of the options that you can play with in alchemy, and there's many, many, many more. The last thing I want to show you on this video is just kind of the envelope that you can create for your sound. So right now I've got a nice sustaining tone, got a little bit of attack here. This is my attack, hold, decay, sustain, release. So let's bring, I don't know, let's bring the release all the way down and see what happens here. You can see it's changing the envelope, right? Let's bring it all the way down. And let's hear what happens when we get to the end of the note. So you can hear, it's not, in this case, it's not a total sharp cutoff because of the kind of audio that I have, but you can hear that the release is a lot faster than if I bring it all the way up. Yeah, so it's kind of cool. I actually kind of like that release all the way up. I should have had that higher for my my actual recording. Anyhow, there's also sustain. Let's go ahead and bring that down and see what we get. Ooh, hey, that almost sounds like string pizzicato, doesn't it? Let's try it again. bring up the sustain just a little bit. Yeah, I kind of like that. Let's make the attack a little shorter, as short as it'll go. Okay, and so if I really wanted a pizzicato, what I'm going to have to do here is go back into Edit, and you see here there's this rising envelope. I'm going to actually have to change the portion of the audio I'm grabbing, and let's make it short, and let's see what that does to the pizzicato. Yeah, there we go. All right, so you kind of get the picture of what you can do with this thing, right? You can take your single piece of audio and really, really modify it and mangle it into some different ways. All right, not bad. For the piece that I was creating, I decided to add one more track of just MIDI, and I'm using an out-of-the-box preset of Alchemy called Cirrus Clouds, and that's here in the track called Cirrus Clouds. Here's what it sounds like. All right, that's pretty cool, and it functions as a really nice drone. So when I combine the Alchemy track, the Demo 1 track, with my ambient guitar audio and the Cirrus Clouds pure Alchemy preset, here's what I get. Pretty cool, isn't it? It's kind of hard to believe that the core of the sound is actually an ambient guitar note. Yeah, it's kind of hard to believe, but it really is. And I'm really loving this Alchemy software synthesizer with Logic. There's so much you can do with it. So if you'd like to hear the finished piece, I've got it posted over on my other channel, Chords of Orion Long Play. Also, I've got Chords of Orion music on Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff, and I'll see all of you on the next video.